Hey, welcome back. Brandon Media Strategies now. Not history, but I do want to talk about that for a second. Because it's kind of like weird, embarrassing. But we're all learning. We're learning new things, right? So I'll talk to you about this. This is the Adobe Creative Cloud. And I'm starting to use their storage system. And it's a little bit weird. It's new. Some things are new. They're adding, they're changing, and they're letting you do things and not do things. And so I've been playing with it and then not remembering where I put stuff because it's a little confusing. But I'm trying to narrow down like how I want to use it the best for my needs. And so in the last class, I was like, I can't find these images. Like I have them, I know they're there. Well, here's their kind of system setup. You can have files, and within those files, or just floating around, you can have folders and just like working files. Great. This is like a standard like folder system. All right. That works normal. Then you can have projects. So a project is like a shareable folder system. I'm going to call it a folder system. It's a shareable folder system that, like, if you're working with a team, everybody can have access to it or access to certain parts. And within that, I think I have it here, within a project, you can have files, you can have folders, and you can have libraries. So you can have three things within a project. Then you can also have libraries that are separate. And I don't think you could, but then within the library, you can have groups. So these are, I think it's them, a group is like a folder. So then you can group things. So I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around like what's the best use of everything. And I'm throwing things in files and projects. And so like for the people who are in the 126 and I was stammering and trying to find images, they were here. And oh, now I moved shit. Oh, that's the wrong one. Projects. 126. Project A. I had all my images, but I had them, they were in different files and folders and in libraries. So like I couldn't find everything. And then I started regrouping and removing and pushing stuff around. So I couldn't find that left gray shoe. Well, here it is. I found it in a folder and I took it out of the folder and I put it over here. So like I said, I'm still trying to figure this out, the best way to use it for me. I think it's a great system. The problem is one of them is it won't accept, libraries won't accept every type of file, and folders won't accept every type of file. So when I'm pulling images, and if it's an AVIF or if it's like a weird image, it doesn't like it. And then so I have to transfer, and I just like, oh, I'll put it in here because it'll take it over there and I can move it here. And then so that's where I'm running into problems with it, but it's pretty great overall. And I do like it. So I'm now starting to realize I need to use projects better. And then within those projects, you can add folders and libraries. And then those will knock down then to where you can store and keep everything. I like libraries because then all your stuff shows up on the sidebar. So all that stammering I was doing, I found everything. I had 90% of it. It's just, I didn't know where I had saved it. And then the other problem I have, if you do a ton of monkeying around, you get this error, and then you got to close out everything. Things are hidden. I was doing a lot of moving, and then it doesn't like it always. And even if you refresh, you just end up having to close out. So during its like infant stages here, where I'm trying to get used to it, I'm like, oh, I don't like those files here. I'm going to move 30 files over. It doesn't really love that right now, but I'm going to work through it. That's why I was stammering on that last one. But get to learn new stuff, learn new processes to speed up your system. This is, except for these headaches that I'm running into right now, Once I get it nailed and I open a file and I know I can see my libraries there and my images are there, like it's going to make my design process so much quicker. It's worth learning. It's worth kind of the headache now, knowing that like when I turn around and I go home and I sit down in my studio and I open that and I open a document, everything is there again, instead of me going to like Google Drive, downloading, uploading file. Where's that? This is missing. That's missing. So I'm trying to get it to this point where like everything just flows and I can work on I have 3 different systems that I work on continuously and that everything has to share across the 3. I'm trying to get to that point. And then some of this stuff is then if you work with a client or if you work with somebody else, you can share these files with them if they have the Adobe system. So it will work good. I hope they keep improving it along the way. It's well worth it. All right, let's get into this. Bubbler, Summerfest. We got to catch up. A couple people falling behind. Don't fall behind. It's fun work. It just got to do it. I'm going to do student preview. As we all know, session 1 is already closed out. And session 2 is closing out today at midnight. So let's talk through what we needed to do, and I'll try to calm down fears and all that kind of stuff. So our first part of the project was to do a little bit of research and make a quick presentation deck. Who is Bubbler? I wanted you to know who Bubbler is. Look at their clients, look at their colors, have some fun, and create a little deck. Mine's not done. I'm falling behind, but I got it started. I just have to populate it. But you know, I got my pages started, and so this is part 1, and I started filling. Oh, look, I did. Oh, see, this is 1. This wasn't loading right. So I have here's my first page and research and visual concepts. Here's Bubbler brand and competitors. I have to put the Bubbler stuff in. And there's Bubbler, Olipop, Poppy. And then my 3 logo roughs. So let's back up and slow down. I've created a presentation. Let's put this in presentation mode. See how far I got. Preview. There's my intro, Project A Phase 1, research, visual concepts, Bubbler brand and competitors. Here's the Bubbler brand, Olipop, Poppy, just some standard stuff. Then my visual concept 1, I called it Hawaii Calling. I was looking at Hawaiian posters, trying to think of things, and I came up with my first one. I found the font that I liked, and I wanted to use the font, and so this was simply it. I came up with my concepts. I have my concept page I can show you, and like I just drew this up and did the one, right? Just playing with text. This one I did, in which I wanted hand lettered, and I was like trying to figure this one out. I wasted a ton of time on this one, and it's horrible. I hate it. Like in my head, there's something there, but I just couldn't get to it. That's that one. And then I did my other one, the bubble effect, where it's like, don't boast my, summer bubble. And I understand that this one has the Bubbler and Summerfest. These 2 are missing, but I didn't continue on with these. I would integrate it in. And then we needed logo variations. And so I took the logo that I liked and I started making variants of it. Just changing stuff. Here's one. Then let's change the color setup. Let's change the color setup again. Let's change the color. Then I got tired of doing that. Then I was like, let's start rearranging it. See how things fit together differently. The logo itself really isn't changing that much. I'm taking the exact same elements and just, what if I move this here? What if I move that there? What if I move this up? What if I move this down? And each time I do it, I'm reading it. Don't burst my summer bubble, get away. I'm like, how do I read it? How do I go through it? and I'm going and trying different layouts, and I'm getting at like, where do I integrate the logos? And this is the 10 versions. Honestly, these took me longer. No, the first one took me a while. Then these are just changing colors. Here, all I'm doing is moving stuff around. These are five minutes a piece. You just move. And it's an exercise in knowing, like, when you first create that first concept or idea of a logo, something better is going to happen. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. You know what I ended up with? This one. There is one more here. Let me lock out the. I had one. This would be my 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one I had done, and then I moved it over and put the palm leaf. I wanted the palm leaf in there because I was going for that Hawaii thing. And then I thought, oh, this is kind of fun. Like, this is the logo in itself. Then I can place that anywhere I need to place it. And it's like set. There's no background for me to worry about, nothing like that. Boom. I have my 10 versions of my logo. Next up was we had to create a poster. I did a very, I don't know when it came to me. And as you can see, I was like, a grid. Like, I had in my mind this grid system, but it was far more what I pictured in my head. And it's still a great idea, but it was far more blocky like this. And I was thinking like these huge images butting up against color, and then the text could go in there. And it was very photo forward, and I was all for it. And then I can't remember what I saw. I saw something and it clicked in me, and I thought, a grid. And I thought, oh, okay, let's do a grid. I think I saw a poster, or I was teaching the design elements and principles class. And I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. I want overlapping layers and colors. And so and really simply, in the wrong program, this was not done in Photoshop, this was done in Fresco, like on my couch, I was like, a grid. And then I started putting squares, and I'm like, you know what you need to do from here on out. This is going to be good. It's 3 by 4. You have a blue, a yellow, and a pink. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And so I brought that in, and this is where I started. That was my poster idea. So we just had to come up with a poster, a single poster. So that's what I did. I came up with the single poster. This was my idea. I have 3 color blocks. They alternate, where there's no like repeats, and they overlap. I have a large area for my logo. That logo is supposed to be front and center and key. And then I've noticed some people are repeating the stuff that's on the logo. You don't need to say things twice. Like some people have their logo and then lower really big, they typed it out again. Don't burst my summer bubble. We don't need doubles. You're doing, why you're doing doubles is you're nervous. You're like, I need to fill the space with something. Well, then you maybe need to redesign, knowing which assets you're going to use. So for this, when coming in, I kind of knew I'm going to take 4 spaces for my big logo. And then I have these little grid. It's a grid. So I can simply go down. I can have 3 product shots. I can have 4 kids playing. I need 2 sections for the type, 1 section for a QR code, and 1 section for the date. There's no repeats in here. These look the same. This is one flavor. This is another flavor. This is another flavor. This is a co-ed group, girl, boy, girl group. I don't know. That's fine. It was on their website. But I'm not repeating stuff. Everything has a section. And I'm not saying everybody has to do a grid system, but don't repeat stuff. And if you do repeat it differently. This is a flavor. This is a different flavor. Look at that design. So I feel like when I see some of these intro designs, the thought isn't there about like, what are the 5 pieces I need to include and where should they go? It's like you're like, oh, I want a picture here and the bottom here. Well, does that really work? Like, have you thought out the design? This is probably the hardest part, right? Hardest part, I got, you come up with your concept, come up with your logo, and you spend some time on this poster and you do the poster. Get it to a good point. I worked on it a couple more times. I added my texture in it. Like I wanted that cool texture in there. I researched how to add a texture to vector. I learned something brand new, and you create these masks and you group them and you mask them. It's super rad. Found out how to do that. Added something to my knowledge base for building. I'm not gonna make everything always look grungy, but I kind of do like that look. It's just kind of the style I like. Now that this is done and I have it separated out into everything I need, I can continue to take this. I don't need to redesign a single thing moving forward, and you shouldn't. If it's not on the poster, it's not on anything else. All right? If it's on the poster, it can be on everything else. The second you add something in, you are now changing your brand. This is like a promotional brand. We don't want to change anything. So I got my poster. I've got everything labeled. I can copy and paste with paste, remember layers, and then go to my flyer. And look, everything pasted in, and I didn't change a single item. I kept the same images. I kept the same product shots. I kept the same logo. I kept the same squares. I kept the same font. And all I did was, it's a puzzle. I just started rearranging. There's my two sides. Side one, don't burn it really big. I want, like, if this is laying on a table, people see this, they see a product shot, they see some kids having it, another product shot, down and dirty. They flip it over. Here's my text, another little logo. It's on the opposite side, but I didn't make the same emphasis. And I think I may, I was thinking about, I have the 3 and 3. I may add some more product shot. I can add different flavors, to like work on that. That's a thing I can add. I'm adding more assets in a style that still matches. I wouldn't just take, this flavor and then just simply like, grab these and be like, oh, yes, I will put one here of the same flavor, one here of the same flavor, and one here of the same flavor. No, I'm going to go and find really different looking box art and fill that up. And I kind of like this. It's like a little tic-tac-toe. But nothing has changed. So when I look at this and I look at my poster, it is the exact same pieces. No redesign. I didn't have to do anything. So I'm trying to get across that idea of like, once you do it once, you don't have to redo anything. You can just carry through each of these assets to the next piece and then the next piece. So I have my flyer. Nothing changed. Once you do this take 15, 20 minutes. I just copied and pasted and moved things around. Instagram, same thing. I copied and pasted. It all goes in those layers. And here's one where I have the Bubbler logo. Oh, look at that stupid double up. See that? Get rid of that. Delete. You weren't supposed to be there. All right. So, like I have the logo and the date on one. Perfect. Go to the next one. This one, I have the logo, the date, and project shot. It's a little bit different. So when this pops up on Instagram once, okay, I saw it. Then the next time it pops up, it's the same but different. So it's recognizable because it has the palm leaf in it. the palm leaf is recognizable. And then I'm showing the product. Ooh, that's what I buy for this bubbler. And then the third one, I made it a little more fun. Now I have the kids drinking it, the product shot, the date, and the logo. Again, nothing, I didn't recreate a single thing. I took everything I had, just made it smaller, turned it, tweaked it. I didn't recreate anything. So this is the part where things should just start flowing. Once you have the poster done, everything follows suit. Now, the next thing we need to work on, box art. I have that file. It's in the assignment. Did I download it? I downloaded it already. It's Bubbler box art zip. And for this one, this is really easy. I talked about this already. Here's the box art. All I'm going to do is bring in my logo. So I'm going to go to Instagram. I'm going to grab that logo. Logo, copy to, grab it. I should be able to grab it. Oh, I know why. All right, I'm going to go to Bubbler Text Font and grab this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to texturize this one. The reason why I can't grab those is because I have the effect on them. I have the texture effect, and you have to group them for the texture effect. So, but that's for another time. I'm going to do this, call it logo. And then this, for this, I want it on the front. I'll have it on the top and the back, and I'll ignore this side and these fold up sides. So I have my logo. It's a nice little lockup. I don't have to do much to get this to fit in. So I'm going to find a spot. Oh, like here. Maybe I'll put it here. Ah, that's a good idea. So I can move some items, but I can't delete items. So this is all editable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down. I'm going to move these down. And I'm going to move the logo down. Joel, why didn't you group this logo? And I can move this down. And I could probably have it overlap that, and that's great. Now I'm going to grab the 6 cans. What? Oh, if I put this 6 cans here. No, what if I'm going to put the 6 cans here. And I can change this. But I'm not deleting. I'm not changing anything. Let's get this grouped. And how big can I make this? Now I don't want it going over, right? This is a fold. This cyan line, that's a fold. I don't want my thing going over and into this. I want it just in the front. Oh, I think it just fits there beautifully. So I'm gonna move that back. And I'm gonna put this back. And then, mind you, there's a couple people, I supplied all of the can art and the box art. The instructions for the sweepstakes mention a 6-pack. So you need to show the 6-pack. It's included in the assignment. And I have them for you. You didn't even need to go and look. Some people found like these 24 packs or something like that. You're supposed to use what the client gave you. The client gave you specific can art and box art to use. Use it. Don't go. There's no reason to go waste your time looking for something different. So then, so I know what I did on this side. So I can do that, you know, again over here, just upside down. And I'll go and I'll double check that I have everything like really accurately done front and back. Let's group that. All right. Grab this. Copy paste. Bring it on up. And turn it upside down. get that in there. Boom. And then I want one more. And I just got to do a little bit of shifting here. Let's see if I can get, if there's enough room for me to get, this will have to be smaller. This is the top. There's not as much room for me to manipulate. I'm not deleting, I'm not changing, I'm just shifting down. This is a lot of time, you know, like it's allowable. Like I've done box art changes, you get the approval, like, can we need to shift things down? And they're like, oh yeah, okay, that's fine. But they're like, but don't alter anything. I'm not really changing the colors. I didn't change colors. I didn't add, I didn't subtract. Sometimes you can, you could put like, if you wanted to, sometimes you can put something, as long as it doesn't disturb how it reads, you could put like a different like color bar through it, but you have to make sure that it doesn't destroy anything else that you're doing. So like, this is good enough, this is good. I don't know, like, I guess if I wanted to, maybe I could add like that sheet, you know, a square. I don't think it adds too much to that. But again, it's just the logo. And then if I wanted to like try to emulate like that, but I don't think it's needed on this. It's not going to add to this. So I'm going to leave it at that. And then I go to File, Save As. And now I'm going to save it to one for you, Project A. And it's box art under SP 26. Save. All right. The other thing we got to work on is a vehicle. Now you can pick any vehicle in the world that you want to do. But I don't know how to do that. What do you mean? Vehicle wrap. A vehicle wrap. So vehicle wraps are quite fun. And everything you need can be found on the internet. Let me close that out. Everything can be found on the internet. I just typed in 1960 van. You just need to find an image in which you can place into your desired program, most likely Illustrator, and you can set the image as a multiply and work behind it. You can find vector files if you dig around even further. Basically any vehicle you put in there. I was able to find, and I went really weird, and I was able to find a vector version of an AutoCAD or a tuk-tuk, they're called. And I was like, that would be hilarious. So it took me 10 minutes. You know, I knew what I wanted. I had to find out the proper name. Here I just put in 1960 van outlines. I want to show you that like whatever you need, you can find it. And you can use that as your template. This is what you use. So I went and I found tuk-tuk. Ta-da! This guy. And I was like, this is going to be hilarious. Like how this will grab attention driving around. And this will be perfect. So I had to create a back for it. I found it's a culmination of two setups. You see the rearview mirrors are different. So I got some things to remove and change, but that's minimal. But all I did is I took out all the color. So we'll just kind of like rely on this one. And then you just kind of do the same thing. I'm not going to change a dang thing. I'm going to take my poster, select everything, grab it. I'm going to copy. I'm going to make sure paste, remember layers is on. I'm going to go to vehicle and I'm just going to paste. And I'm going to hit apply, ignore all, because this is that dumb thing I'm dealing with. And I'm going to put it up here and I'm going to make it bigger. and then just start shifting around. So I want to make sure my tuk-tuk is at the top, everything else is below. And then some of this you'll have to deal with, like maybe you have to mask some parts out, but like here you go. I'm going to start with my base color. Easy. I got my logo. Let's start thinking about where we want. And I don't have to put everything on the vehicle. The vehicle is to drive around and be fun and goofy, and for people to see it. So we'll put like, there we go. I just gotta make sure my layers are, so like I can put it on the roof, but I'm reading it like this. So then you think, which direction should it go? If this is parked, say downtown, the driver sits on this side and we park it in the parking. This is facing the sidewalk. So that way, if you look out of a building and you look down from a third floor, you'll see it pointing towards you. So you think about those stuff like that. Here, I'm going to put one small on the front. And here I want the color. I want to start introducing the color. So, you know, I want those. And so I'm going to grab a couple of these. Object. No. I have to undo my mask window. What would that be? Object, clipping this. Okay. This is because I have that system turned on it. What I mean, object. Let's see, Z. When I say system, the texture, excuse me. Well, here, this is gonna be easy. I can just add my squares. So I don't have to worry about destroying all that. I can add my squares, and I want product shot. I want blue and pink. I think that'll look good. So I'm going to take this. Again, I'm not redoing anything. I got this here. Let me get smaller. And this is all we're doing. I'm just taking bits and pieces from what I've already worked on and making them new. This is fill. This would be, and then I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. I'm gonna tilt it, put it there, and then I'll do this one. And I'll tilt it like that. And I'll make it pink. And I'm just gonna start playing around. Now I don't need to put, you know, like, and then what I'll put on it is I'll put one more logo. And not everything has to be on it. So I'm going to grab this, these two, because I have the information, right? That's the logo. It's on the side. And I'm going to go more into depth into this, like playing around. This is this. So oddly, I know this will seem weird. Like I can take this. It's not scaled. And for once in my life, I can say I need to distort this, because that's how it would look if I was matching that. And then I got it on the side, and then at the top, there's a possibility I could put the QR code here. Put the QR code here, and then I'll put the dates across this top. Grab those, make those a little bit smaller. So what I'm trying to get at here is for the people that are hemming and hawing at their poster stage, once you do that poster, this all just falls into place. This is what branding is about. It's not rethinking every piece. It's literally, how can I make every piece look exactly the same? Because we have created a brand and we want people to recognize when they see it. And put that on a yellow square. That like, oh, this is that part of that thing that I saw earlier. Oh yeah, I saw that earlier. And that's how we know about it. Oh. And I'm going to do some more finagling with this. I'm not done with this. And the reason, like these black lines, those are just like bumps. There's not actually black lines. I'm going to add some color. Maybe I'll do the top in the pink, and I'll block out some stuff. I got the back to do. So you play around, you have some fun. If there's something, if you're like, oh, I don't know how to do this. If I go to new file, I got another way I'll show you real quick. 8.5 by 11. Landscape, create. So I was gonna, just delete that. Select all, copy. Go to untitled, paste, all, ignore. Go down in size. I want this to be small. It's 25. All right, so that's it. Now, so just so you can see this, if you happen to go online and you're like, oh, I found the truck I wanted or whatever, and it's like this. So what is that last one I had? I really like that one. But it's an image. So it's like download raster image. I don't know how big this is. Let's make sure I go to tools, images, tools, size, large. Oh, that really screws us. So it can't be large, any size. We'll grab one of these. I'll grab this one. I'm going to do save image as. Save it on my desktop, save. And then you make sure it's a file I can use. It's a GIF. I want to open it with Photoshop. You go to image. Just want to maybe make it bigger if I can. It's fairly small, but it's only a black and white image. We'll see what it does. I would find something better if you can. Like I said, do a search, but I'm doing this just to show you a different way. So I'm going to do file, save as. I'm going to save it as a PSD. I'm learning now. 142 project A. I can just, I'll just save it because I'm going to delete it. Save. Okay, then I'll just save it. This is, it's pissed because I've been moving too many things around. I have to restart everything. Not a big deal. Desktop, let's save it to desktop. And then when I open up Illustrator, if I place my vehicle template, file, place, desktop, this PSD place, I got it in there, and you're like, well, how am I supposed to work on this? How am I supposed to colorize that? Put it on top, go to opacity, normal, and just hit multiply. And now you can see through it. So you can use it as a template. See how that works? And then that image, you can use the image. And then you just kind of, work however you need. Get the logo. Where do I want the logo? Then you start moving things around. I want the logo on these 2 doors. And I'm going to put a logo on the front. And I'll put a logo on this side, and I'll put a logo on the back, and one on the roof. But this one, I'm actually going to have it go this way. And it's so you can see how I can work this. And then if you want to color the van, you just trace it. Pen tool. Just get the pen tool out. So all this is fairly easy. Just gonna do it. And again, I'm not reinventing, I'm not redesigning. And I'm doing this as fast as I can so you guys don't get bored. But then like, oh, okay, that's the cream color. So I turn on the cream, and then I drop the cream, turn off that cream, and there you go. Now the bus is a cream color. That's all I needed to do. It's gonna simulate what it would look like in real world. That's what I want. Now, as we're leading into these finals, I want to see the pieces in the real world. Everything but the vehicle. So the poster, put the poster in an environment. The flyers, put the flyers in an environment. You have done this before for other classes, so I know you know how to do it. It's just Photoshop work. Like once your poster's done, you make a JPEG of it and you put it into real world situations. You mock up. Oh, you know what? I'll take out the box art. You don't have to mock up the box art. Just the poster, the flyer, and the social media posts should all be presented in a way that you can kind of see them in real life. The box art can be flat art, unless you're so inclined. Actually, you know what? No, do the box art, because I have the box art images, and you just have to Photoshop your faces onto it. So when I say Photoshop the faces onto it, you have the flat artwork. So where's mine? Let me show you how to do that, because sometimes people do it in reverse. So I have my box art, and this is my box, right? I'm going to turn off the guides. This is how easy it is. Turn off the guides. I'm literally going to do a screenshot of, I have it zoomed in really big. I'm going to do a screenshot of the front of the box. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to find the box. I have my ticket giveaway assets. And it was this one. Open with other. I don't know why I wanted to do Photoshop 26. Open. All right. There's the box. I have my box art. It's a screenshot. I'm finding my screenshot folder. I'm just going to pull it in there. And then you just distort it. Like I'm going to make it the right size. And this is one for once in my life, I'm like, distort it. And I'll adjust the colors and everything too. But I'm gonna go to Edit, Transform, Distort, and I'm gonna match the corners. And you just have to do the front and the top. There we go. And then like I would clean this up, like erase that cyan line that I got in there so there's no line. And then if I go here and I go to adjustments and I'll do curves. Let's play with the curves. Oh, I want to make sure you hit this thing. It only does the one layer. It doesn't do it all. Woo. And I'm just going to kind of like, I hate to say like blow it out a bit. Which way looks better? Like going up this way kind of matches a little bit better. And there you go. I'll do the top. I go back to PSD or to my Illustrator file. Scroll down. There's the top. I'm going to screenshot it again. Boom, boom. Wait for my screenshot to show up in my screenshot folder. There it is. Pull it on over. It's upside down. All right. Doop, doop, doop. Go over here. Edit, transform, distort. Just matching corners. And then if I move this down, I can do that, you know, like, and then it adds into that color system. What does it? It masked it. There we go. So if I turn, we go here. Oh, I can duplicate this. So I want to duplicate this. And I want to have it attached to that one. And then that way they're matched up. And there you go. There I got my box art mock-up. Took me 5 minutes. So that's what I want to see you do. Like I said, tonight, midnight, session 2 closes out. But for everything else, you have an extra week. We're not meeting next week. The college is closed on Tuesday. Thursday is a work day. So you take that and you just kind of keep working and you get everything turned in, you get all caught up, and we're all good. Any questions, comments, or concerns about what you need to do, work on? All right, awesome. Do some great work. I'm looking forward to seeing these. Again, start posting to the sessions. Again, don't wait until 2 weeks from now, Wednesday night, and then be like, here's all the pieces. Can you look at them? Like, you have 2 weeks. Let's just start every day. Post something. Be like, hey, how's this looking? How's this looking? Just a little back and forth. You would be amazed at like the little bit of nudge. All I'm going to be is like, oh, why don't you move this here? Why don't you change that? Back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. You spend 30 minutes a day. It's not even the full amount of time. You get this knocked out. So, all right. That's it for me. I will see you hopefully on the discussion boards and the messaging. You won't hear from me next week, except through those. And yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks on Tuesday with another lecture. All right. And a new project. Starts a new project. So cool. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.